The question has been nagging at me for years. It really bothered me. How is it that I went through elementary, junior high, high school, college, master's degree, and I never had any foundational coursework in personal development, principles of success, financial stewardship, passive residual income, nada. Now, when I graduated high school, I was told it's the better path to go to college. And I was told if I performed well in college, I would have a higher probability of job security. I was also told that if I went and got a master's degree, that would increase my probability even more. So I got into college by God's grace and influence by elders on probation. I graduated college with an honors degree in psychology, Morehouse College. Let's go. I got into Yale University, graduated with a master's. Let's go. I sought out the most challenging spaces and places to enter, where the bar of entry is really, really high, very hard, difficult to get into, and just as difficult to get out. So I did all the quote unquote right things, but I was still completely ignorant when it comes to core principles of personal development and success. Now, some of that was instinctual. Some of that was my competition. Some of that was just my drive. However, it's not enough to have internal mechanisms that you just have. It's important that you learn how to master those and develop them so that there's a path of constant, never-ending improvement. I didn't even know what that meant at the time. I certainly had zero financial stewardship and intelligence. I was completely ignorant. I had the financial stewardship and intelligence of a third grader with a master's degree and tens of thousands of debt to go along with it. What kind of sense does that make? So the question has always nagged me and bothered me for years. I didn't learn core principles until I got involved in entrepreneurialism. I didn't learn financial principles until I got involved in entrepreneurialism. You see, there are no commercials for personal development and financial success. There are commercials. I mean, there's a lot of stuff now on the internet and on YouTube and social media where people are hawking their goods and they're selling their courses and all of that. That's a different dynamic. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a language that I have learned and am continuing to master, a language of financial independence, a language of business, a language of leverage. I didn't know anything about leverage and how to harness the power of leverage. Which would you rather have? 1% of the efforts of 100 people or 100% of your own? Are you doing anything right now that allows you to build and create a mechanism where leverage is used in your favor through your work and your effort so that you are creating cash flow that comes to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in multiple time zones? Have you even thought about that? I'm confident that you have residual bills. The question is, do you have residual income? Because if you have residual bills that come 24/7, whether you like it or not, whether you have a job or not, whether you just got laid off or you got the promotion, the bills are going to keep coming. The question is, do you have an income that comes 24/7? In other words, if you were to step away from your daily routine and you went away for 90 days and you did nothing, like nobody, you went on an island and you just decided to check out and write a book for 90 days, would the income continue to come in at the same or even higher rate because of the work and the effort that you put forth before you went away for 90 days? And if you're not working towards that, if you're not building that, then you're like me. You don't know that you don't know, and you think you know. That was me, because I'm like, well, I have a master's degree from Yale. Every time I tell people I graduated Yale University, their whole state changes. They perk up like, oh, ooh, wow, really? Tell me more. Because it has that mystical power, and rightfully so. It's not an easy institution to get into, and there are certain things that take place within that campus and those walls that are incredibly unique and very, very special. And the people and the relationships, it's a real thing. Like it was definitely worth it, doing all of the work and putting forth the effort to get into that prestigious university. It was the same thing with Morehouse College. So I say all that to say this. I don't know where you are in your life, but I do know that you have some goals for yourself financially, whatever they may be. Maybe it's a certain level of retirement. Maybe it's a certain level of cash flow that you'd like to have coming in consistently every month, even when you decide that you're not going to put forth as much time in working and you're going to put more time into family and hobbies, etc. I know that you may have some goals in terms of investing, and you know, the beauty of investing is that the more cash flow you have, the more investing you can do. I know that you may have some goals in terms of giving and tithing. The more cash flow you have, the more giving and tithing you can do. The more you can be a support for your family, the more you can be a resource to the people that you love and care about, that you can help them. And if you have children or grandchildren, you can make sure that they have that head start. That's part of our assignment, is that we have to create a path that's not easy. I'm not saying that we should make everything easy. They don't have to work for it. But hey, I want to make sure that my kids, that they have a house that's paid for, that they have an automobile that's paid for, so that when they hit the ground and they start on their life journey, they're focusing on advancing the ball even more forward instead of struggling to pay bills. Unfortunately, most people live paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, the majority of Americans don't have an extra $400 for an emergency. Unfortunately, the majority of Americans don't have any savings. As a matter of fact, they're at a negative when it comes to their net worth. So the reason that is because most Americans came up the way that I did. Going through elementary, junior high, high school, college, trade school, etc., with no training, foundational courses on personal development, success principles, and financial stewardship, financial intelligence. If that's something that you want to change, if you're open to a residual income conversation, if you're willing to be open-minded and evaluate something that could have a serious impact on your journey, positively speaking, if you'd like to be a part of a community where there are eagles, not pigeons, but you're surrounding yourself with eagles so that you can elevate, then let's have a conversation. DM me at Ed Blunt. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Those are the best places to reach me. And if you have my number, call. All right. Speak to you soon.